what's going on? It's ASAP Flash here, and I'll be talking about episode 4 of Mandalorian titled Sanctuary. Now, last week I didn't do a video about the Mandalorian primarily because I didn't. I pretty much had ran out of time for that night. Instead of watching my shows first and checking the emails, I decided to check my emails first and watch the episode last. And I watched Drawn Together. I know, kind of a weird combination, but I watched Drawn Together, X Men, and then after X Men was over, I was like, man, I feel kind of sleepy, so I'll just watching another episode. Well, today, the next week, so that was like maybe 2 weeks since I seen an episode of The Mandalorian, and like what I said in my description of the last video, maybe I need to write notes, like kind of like just write down some sentences and what I thought about the episode. So this is the first time talking about any episode, talking about anything that I decided to write notes like immediately after watching it. I mean, usually I write a script, like with most reviews I do, but I decided to write some stuff so it won't be like, oh, it reminded me of this or whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, um, one thing I'll say before I start, I did see this episode twice. First to just enjoy the episode, and second to like get, you know, I guess an idea of what I want to say. Anyway, why ruin the magic? Anyway, so like the opening shot. Well, not like actually the opening shot. It was like underwater with all these fishes going on, and I just thought that opening shot was so beautiful with all the colors, and it just felt like almost like I was looking at an aquarium. It just looked so nice, and then it kind of panned out and showed the rest of the field, and I just thought it was kind of interesting how that reminded me a lot of the pad fields in Vietnam, and I just think it's kind of interesting that that kind of reminded me of Vietnam and the journeys of the villagers going from being weak, defenseless villagers into kind of defending themselves from the threat that inhabit where they live. And I think it's kind of interesting as I was watching the episode the second time. Like when I what I said about it kind of reminded me of Vietnam farmers. In some ways, you could see like a parallel. I mean, I don't know if that's what they're going for, but certainly that's how it looked to me. The parallel between the farmers being attacked and like Vietnam War, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really think that was their intention. I think that was like happened to be a coincidence, but you know. Anyway, I really like the bond between the Mandalorian. I'm sure that's not his name, but that's what the captions are naming him as. So I'm just gonna call him the Mandalorian, and I don't think his real name sounds corny. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I like the I guess well, not really banter, but the bond that the both characters have. I really love the scene where it's like, okay, you stay here, and then as he's leaving, Baby Yoda just like right by his side, and he's like, oh damn it, okay, let's come on, just come with me. What I really like in this episode is the Western slash samurai influences in this episode, especially with you know this I forgot the name of the samurai film, but it's basically like teaching villagers how to defend themselves, and that pretty much what happened in this episode. And yeah, it's funny though, because when I was first watching this episode, I was thinking to myself that the girl that plays Kara looks a lot familiar, and then I looked up on IMDb, and sure enough, she played Angel Dust in the Deadpool movie. And speaking of which, I'm wearing a Deadpool shirt. Um, Anyway, Yeah, I noticed in this episode, it shows the duality of the Mandalorian, that he wants to protect Baby Yoda, but at the same time, knowing he has to leave him behind for a better life. Ironically, near the end of the episode, ironically, that's kind of proves that he has to take continue being by his side and protecting him and shit when I first started the show, I was asking coworkers, what is the show about? I think I might have said this. I think I'm repeating myself, but um, basically it's like the adventures of the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda, and more or less that's pretty much what the show is about. They do this thing and then they need to do another thing, blah blah blah. So pretty much it's working its way to the last episode, which is kind of like some kind of standoff, I can imagine. And not only the duality between wanting to leave it behind and wanting to make sure he's safe. It you also get kind of like a sense on how lonely the character is. Because with all the flashbacks in the previous episodes, and kind of he can never take off his helmet, and this basically he more or less owes his life to the Mandalorian. He get kind of a sense of that he just a lonely character, virtually has no one else, just the other group of Mandalorians that he rolls with, kind of. And the inspiration for the ATST, like I read on IMDb that it's supposed to be a reference to Jurassic Park, but I got more of a Sentinels X-Men type of vibe, especially cause since I'm also watching the X-Men on Disney Plus. Yeah, the first episode had to do with Sentinel, so it reminded me of that. Not gonna lie, but when I was watching this episode, I got a little teary eyed, because I mean, with the whole leaving Baby Yoda behind, and just kind of and then deciding at the end of the episode that he's not gonna leave him behind because, well, obviously, there's still a bounty on him, and I mean that's just kind of messed up. Like there's still a bounty on a baby. Go figure. I guess that's to move the plot forward. So that's pretty much it for what I wrote down for the episode. I didn't want to focus too much on writing little details, stopping every 2 minutes to write out down a little detail because I thought that was kind of annoying. But what did you think of this format? The way I did, I mean, it looked kind of obvious that I was looking down and reading a quick line, but certainly a lot better than just me coming on the camera and just saying it was good, because I kind of hate doing that. Like, duh, I thought it was good. Then why did you think it was good? Anyway, enough of that rant. Please like, sub, shares, all the other shit. Ring the bell and all that fun stuff. And I'll see you in the next video.